I was pushing a deadline well past midnight. That's what journalists do, stall while waiting for inspiration. In this case, some way to make plastic recycling interesting. I was an environmental writer working for a magazine called Garbage. I talked trash. But really all I could think about was Bo, my big black lab, the 8-year-old escape artist. Earlier that day, he ate the fence, pulled the wood slats right off. Usually he came back after a few hours and always by sunset, but not this day. I knew he was out there. I could feel him. I stepped on the screened-in porch. It was quiet, even though I lived a few miles from downtown, and dark. The glow of the corner street lamp just barely reached my way. I stepped out on the front porch and yelled his name. Bo! Bo Zephyr! Bo-some! I heard Bo whimper. Faint, but I knew it was him. My mind went into overdrive. Oh no, he's trapped somewhere. He might be in pain. He can't get out. I'm a bad mother. I ran out into the street and called for him again. A screen door slammed. Hey, you missing a dog? Came a voice out of the darkness. It sounded like a guy who might not be very bright. I ran towards the voice. In the patchy light, I could barely see a large man standing in the front yard across the street and a few doors down. The rent house had an odd reputation. The neighbor said they never saw who lived there. Yeah, you have my dog? Well, honey, it's my dog, Jake. He was stolen 3 years ago as a puppy. Okay, now I knew he was not very bright. You'd have to be drunk or blind not to see the gray all over Bo's muzzle. Look, I've had that dog since it was born. Ask my vet. No, honey, I don't have to ask your vet. It's my dog, and I'm taking it back. My brain blew up. Take my dog? Righteous maternal rage infused every cell of my body. The mad mother instinct sprang into action. All that mattered was this jerk who had my dog. The dog napper lumbered back towards the rent house, and I followed him. After he staggered inside, Bo yelped loudly. All rationality left me. This goon just hurt my Bo Zephyr. As a teen in the 70s, I owned Bo's mother, Jasmine. She protected me in a childhood home where I felt in danger all the time. Right after graduation, my boyfriend Jasmine and I moved to a farm in northeast Texas and raised cucumbers. We bred Jasmine and kept 2 puppies, giving the rest away. One day, Jasmine and the puppies were stolen. It nearly killed me. It did kill the marriage. But the owner of an adopted puppy heard about our loss and gave it back. That puppy was Bo. The marriage was over. The farm got sold. But damn it, I had Bo. More than a dog, he was my life story. I stormed the den of thieves, flinging open the porch door and then the front. Bo was huddled in the corner of the tiny front room, his head ducked, huge tail beating the floor in a way that said, I messed up, please don't be mad. I just stared at him. How did he get here? Was he trapped or lured or what? The dog napper turned around. He wasn't all that surprised to see me there. How drunk was this guy? I've come to get my dog. You'd better give this idiot idea of yours up. Look, honey, just run on home. It's my dog. The goon had 5 brain cells max. Okay, I'm calling the police, and started for the door. Police must have been the magic word. A swarthy, pasty-faced fellow appeared suddenly and stopped me. Drawn by the commotion, a Keith Richards lookalike walked in and snarled, If he says it's his dog, it's his dog. In an instant, it dawned on me what a horrible situation Bo and I were in. 3 large, rough-looking guys in a bad mood were between us and the front door. I told no one I was coming to this house. No one in the neighborhood saw me. I looked around. These weren't the beer-drinking good old boys like I thought. The Keith guy had the bloodless look of a junkie who stayed up all night on drugs. I encountered these bums when I worked the nightclub beat for a local weekly. Quick check. Needle tracks. Oh no. I was in Narcotics Central. A thought raced through my mind. Hey, goof, aren't writers supposed to be observant? I snorted in self-derision. This set the dog napper off. He lurched towards me and yelled in my face. His breath numbed my lips. Oh, damn, they've been smoking crack. Then it hit me. They were stoned, I was sober, and now they were arguing with each other, probably about what to do with my dead body. I nudged Bo and we bolted. Who knew I could run so fast? We made it all the way home with no one behind us. I locked the double bolt, threw the chain on my front door, and stood in the middle of my living room, panting. Poor exhausted Bo promptly went to sleep. Then the porch door slammed and someone yanked on the front door handle. Oh God, he's coming after us. I dialed 911 and heard him stomp off the porch and up the side yard. I threw open a small bathroom window and screamed at him, "Get out of here!" The dog napper yelled back, "Look, honey, just give me back my dog." Good Lord, this idiot may be more obsessive than me. He yanked on a window screen. Now I was in total panic. Bo, by the way, still asleep. The police dispatcher answered and I yelled into receiver, "Someone's breaking in, help me." The dog napper took off with a parting shot, "I'll be back." Cars at the rent house started up and raced off. Rationality began to seep in. Locks on both gates to the yard were broken. I couldn't get the bedroom window to lock. The outside light was busted. I depended on Bo for protection, and my neighbors too. Safety, control, all of it an illusion. Each unfolding awareness was like a cut, and my sense of well-being was bleeding away. The police drove up and I met them on the porch. My ordeal spilled out haphazardly. The two policemen looked at each other. "Where did this happen?" I gestured to the house down the street. Not a light on, inside or out, the driveway deserted. Of the entire block, only my house was lit. Bo woke up and stuck his head through the cat door, showing his missing teeth, grizzled ears, and gray muzzle. The cops grinned. "This is the dog they wanted to steal?" It really happened, honest. I don't doubt it. You call us if they come back. And they drove off. Crack-smoking, dog-napping goons on my middle-class street, and the police didn't seem surprised. You know, who knows what goes on inside a house in the dark of night unless the cops get a call. I could have easily never come out of that place alive. I would have been just another missing woman, another mysterious tragedy. I shivered in terror. If it had been my life that had been threatened and not my dog's, would I have been more lucid? I loved Bo obsessively. Myself, maybe not so much. I sunk into a chair, Bo at my feet, and cried until exhausted. I closed all the drapes and blinds. I wedged silverware into the bedroom window so it couldn't be opened. I pulled furniture in front of all the doors. I turned on every light in the house and collapsed into bed, Bo next to me. Not long after that, I began dating a good man who soon moved in. He fixed the locks and fortified the fence so Bo could no longer escape. I have wrestled with my obsessive tendencies many times since then, but I have learned to respond rather than react. Crucial difference, that. You know what the motto of first responders is? First, check your surroundings. Of course, the neighbors found out. I recounted my adventure many times until it became humorous in hindsight. The rent house acquired an even odder reputation, and the inhabitants soon moved away. Things were back to normal, sort of. A year later, a woman up the street was murdered in her home. There was no forced entry. No one saw a thing.